everyone, today we will be studying the difference between tort and contract. First point of difference, definition. A tort is a civil wrong committed by one person against another, resulting in harm or damage to the other party, whereas a contract is a legal binding agreement between two or more parties that creates an obligation to do or not to do a specific thing. Second point, nature. Torts are based on the principle of negligence or wrongdoing and they are not created by the parties involved, whereas contracts are created by the parties involved and they are not based on the principle of mutual agreement. Third point, scope. Torts can cover a broad range of conduct including intentional acts, negligence, and strict liability, whereas contracts are usually limited to a specific set of obligations or terms. Fourth point, right in. In case of a tort, the wrong committed is violation of right in rem, whereas in case of contract, the wrong committed is violation of right in personam. Fifth point, remedies. The remedies for a tort include compensation for damages or harm suffered, punitive damages, and injunctions. Whereas the remedies for a breach of contract include damages, specific performance, and rescission. Sixth point, liability. Liability for a tort is based on the fault or negligence, whereas liability for a breach of contract is based on the terms of contract and the obligations created by it. Seventh point, burden of proof. In torts, the plaintiff has the burden of proving that the defendant caused the harm and that the harm was forcible. In contract, the plaintiff must prove that a contract existed, that the defendant breached the contract, and that the plaintiff suffered damages because of that. Eighth point, creation or formation. A tort is created by agreement or contract, but rather occurs as a result of one party's actions or omissions, whereas a contract is created by mutual agreement and consent by the parties involved. Ninth point, intention. In torts, the intention of the defendant is more irrelevant. It is the harm caused to the plaintiff that is the focus, whereas in contracts, the intention of the parties is key as it determines the terms of the agreement. Tenth point, enforcement. Torts are generally enforced through the court system and may involve criminal penalties in addition to civil liability, whereas contracts are generally enforced through the court system but criminal penalties are generally not involved. 11th point, examples. Examples of torts include negligence, defamation, and intentional torts like assault or battery, whereas examples of contracts include employment contracts, lease agreements, sale contracts, etc.
Thank you for watching. Do like, share and subscribe.